We've all been there. The big corporate push for improvement. The fancy new software, the off-site retreat, that company-wide memo that everyone skims. But what if the real secret to getting dramatically better isn't some massive, expensive overhaul? What if it's something quieter, more consistent, and found in the one place most leaders totally forget to look? So how do the truly great companies do it? The ones that just seem to dominate their fields for decades? Well, I can tell you it's not about luck or some one-off genius idea. Nope, it's a disciplined approach. It involves a powerful mindset, a specific method, and a commitment to seeing reality with your own two eyes. Let's break down how all these pieces fit together.
All right, so here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the big idea that kind of changed manufacturing forever. Then we'll dive into the Japanese philosophy of small daily wins, which is called Kaizen. From there, we'll visit the single most important place in any business, the Gemba, and we'll uncover the principles and tools you can use to start making a real difference, like today.
To really get where we're going, we first have to understand the revolution that came before it. It's a concept that completely shifted how the business world thinks about quality, and it's called Total Quality Management, or TQM for short.
Think of TQM as the foundation for everything. See, before this, quality control was just some department at the end of the assembly line that caught mistakes. TQM completely turned that idea upside down. It said, hey, quality is everyone's job, from the CEO down to the newest person on the team. The whole company unified by one single goal: create better value for the customer.
Okay, so if TQM is the goal, what's the engine that actually gets us there? Well, this brings us to a really powerful Japanese philosophy, Kaizen.
Kaizen literally means good change, and this is where the real magic happens. It's the total opposite of a big destructive overhaul. It's all about the relentless hunt for small, tiny, incremental improvements. You fix one little thing today, another tomorrow. Now, it might not feel super dramatic in the moment, but here's the crucial part. Those tiny changes, they compound, and over time, they create these absolutely monumental transformations.
But look, Kaizen isn't just a warm, fuzzy feeling or some vague goal. It's a discipline. And that discipline is captured in a structured, repeatable process known as the Kaizen cycle. What you're looking at right here, this is the engine of continuous improvement. It's a roadmap that anyone, and I mean anyone, can follow to make things better. So let's walk through this. It all starts by getting the employees, the people actually doing the work, involved in finding the real problems. From there, you brainstorm and create a solution, and then you test it, usually on a pretty small scale. You look at the results, you analyze them, and if it works, you don't just have a party, you adopt it. It becomes the new standard. And then, and this is so important, the cycle begins all over again. It's a never-ending loop of just getting better and better.
Okay, so we've got the TQM mindset, and we have the Kaizen process. But this powerful cycle can't just happen in a vacuum, right? It needs a location. It needs a physical space where all the theory meets reality. And that brings us to the most important element of this whole thing.
So, where do you actually find these opportunities, these problems to solve? Is it in a conference room staring at a PowerPoint? Is it buried in a spreadsheet? The answer, you've probably guessed, is a huge no.
Real improvement happens in the Gemba. The word means the real place, and it's such a profound concept. It's not the boardroom. It's the factory floor where the product is made. It's the retail counter where the customer is helped. It's the software developer's actual screen where the code is written. It is wherever value is actually being created for the customer. The entire philosophy hinges on going there.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. You cannot truly understand a problem by looking at a report. You cannot fix a process from behind a desk. Real, deep understanding only comes from going to the Gemba, observing the work with your own eyes, and actually talking to the people who do it every single day.
So what do you do when you get to the Gemba? You don't just, wander around aimlessly. You follow a clear set of principles that are designed to guide you from just looking around to actually taking action. This is basically your playbook. First, when trouble happens, your immediate reaction is to go to the Gemba. Don't call a meeting, go see the problem. Second, you check the Gembutsu, the actual things. Touch the machine, inspect the part, look at the code. Third, take some kind of temporary action to stop the bleeding, right? Then you find the real root cause, famously by asking why 5 times to dig deeper. And finally, once you've found a solution, you standardize it. You make it the new official way so that problem can't ever come back.
Now, one of the main things you're looking for when you're in the Gemba is waste.
It's this silent killer of productivity and quality, and Gemba Kaizen gives you the tools to hunt it down and eliminate it.
The Japanese have a specific word for this waste: muda. Muda is any activity that uses up resources, time, money, effort, but adds absolutely zero value from the customer's point of view. And here's a scary thought. How much of your own workday is spent doing things a customer would never, ever be willing to pay for? That is muda.
And this waste, this muda, it's sneaky. It hides in plain sight. These are the 7 classic forms you're trained to spot in the Gemba. Things like having way too much inventory just sitting around, or the wasted motion of an employee walking back and forth searching for a tool. Even just waiting for an email, waiting for an approval, that's a form of waste. Spotting these isn't about placing blame. It's about seeing opportunities for improvement everywhere you look.
So how do we tie all this together? We've journeyed from this high-level philosophy of total quality management down into the nitty-gritty process of Kaizen and all the way to the physical place where it all happens, the Gemba.
So here it is, the big takeaway. If you truly want to improve something, you cannot do it from your desk. You have to leave the spreadsheets and the charts behind and go to where the work is actually being done. Because lasting, meaningful improvement is born from observing reality, not from analyzing a summary of it.
And that leaves us with one final, and I think, really powerful question to ask yourself. Think about your own job, your team, your company. Where is value really created? Where does the work actually happen? Go find that place, because that is your Gemba, and that is where your journey of continuous improvement truly begins.